Internet world. It is your boy Jermaine back with another live stream. It is Tuesday night, and it's time for us to come together and hang out. Anyway, come on in the stream, enter the chat. Let's chill for a minute. Yes. I want to do an audio test so I can see if this sounds good. Like, kind of, it's not popping up on my phone here. Or, okay, it's not popping up yet. Give it a second, it'll pop up. But how y'all doing tonight? I see some of y'all are in. I gotta let my regulars get back in. Yes. What is going on? It's still not showing up this live. I can't do an audio check. I really want to do an audio check. Come on. Okay. So what new in the world today, y'all? What is new in the world today? I haven't really been paying the news too much attention. I mean, I kind of been checking the stock market and stuff because SoFi reported earnings today, and it was no surprise. Most folks thought that SoFi would beat earnings just because they beat earnings for like the past 5 weeks. No, five quarters. I said 5 weeks, 5 quarters. But yeah, the stock price was up pretty much at 10% up at one point today. And then I think it gave all of it back. I think it closed the day with, like it was 1% up or something. So it was one of them days. But at least they still reported earnings. I mean, Google reported good earnings, but their price didn't just shoot up and like go to the moon. So kind of the economy we're in right now. It's a lot of fear out there. I mean, we don't know where the trade war is going. We don't know if it's going to end soon. We don't know if the shelves going to be empty. It's really hard to figure out what's really going on. You go on YouTube, you watch Democrats, they saying, "Oh, everything's falling apart." But you listen to the Republicans, and they're talking about how, "Oh yeah, Trump is doing this and Trump is doing that," and it's like, yo, who do you believe here? It's like, what's real anymore? And then all this stuff, like what's real anymore? Like, are things really been in China? Are they not? Do they not even care? Like, cause there's so much of both sides out there. Like, I see these one videos saying that like China's crashing, right? Yeah, they're crashing. But then I see these other videos saying that like, oh no, yeah, they're selling stuff to the U.S., but they're doing good. They're just selling stuff to other countries, and I'm just like, oh, so I don't know what to believe. I just got no idea. Yeah, maybe it's snowing outside. Not literally, it's not snowing, but I don't know. It's different. Yeah, it's different. Yes. Let's see if this is saying I'm live. Okay, this is still not saying I'm live. It would usually like show up like live. Like, I would show up on my phone, but it's totally not. That's crazy. Let's go to view. Okay, now it's showing up. I can do an audio check. Okay, I think the audio check. I think that was good, right? I think it's hella good. What do you think about Amazon showing the tariff prices? Okay, so the Amazon showing the tariff prices, that was gonna be on. I don't think they were gonna do that on the normal Amazon site. They were gonna do that on the new Amazon site with all the cheap stuff on there, right? I forget their name, Amazon, whatever. They're gonna do that to that one. Well, there's two ways to look at it. Like, I'm just gonna be 100 with y'all. There's two ways to look at it. You can look at it from the way that, okay, Trump doesn't want Amazon to add tariffs on the list under taxes, right? And under fees, under shipping. You don't put tariffs there because if you put tariffs there, that's basically like money going to Trump for the most part, right? Because he's the one that imposes the tariffs, okay? But then you can look at it from the outside, you can look at it from the flip side too, that tariff amounts are going to be vastly different, okay? Like, real, they're going to be vastly different on different products. And yeah, a 25% tariff sounds like a lot, but it just really depends on where you buy the item from. Like, if you order it off Shein or AliExpress, they probably going to hit you with a whole 25% tariff, right? But if you order something like a pair of Nikes, okay? The Nikes cost you $100 in the store. Well, Nike imported those shoes to the US. They didn't import them at the cost of $100. They imported them at the cost of like maybe like $20 or $25, right? So it would be the tariff on the actual the cost of the item being imported. So it wouldn't make the Nike shoes go up that much more, but it would make Shimu and Timu packages go up a lot more. So one thing I will say, like I am kind of like I do like the of the tariffs because well, I there's a part of me that like them, but then there's a part of me that's like actually tariffs are really if you think about it. Okay, think about this here. If you impose tariffs on companies because you want them to manufacture in the U.S., well, what if what if they actually start to manufacture in the U.S.? One way you can look at it is kind of dumb. But then on another way, you can kind of look at it where that could actually slow people's shopping patterns. Because you got to think, people blow a lot of money on just frivolous things that like we don't need, especially around here. You know, you online, you scroll and see something, you buy it, you don't even use it. You know, you go buy a pair of shoes because you go to the mall with your friend on the weekend and your friend bought a new pair of shoes, so you got a new pair of shoes, but once again, you didn't exactly need a new pair of shoes. You got one just because, yo, I'm just gonna get a new pair of shoes, right? So, I don't know. It could slow down shopping, right? It could definitely make things more expensive. It could also push people to get more creative because I'm gonna keep it 100. I know we can't like all products in the US. No. But we should at least like try to make at least some products, right? Because you go to like Walmart and Target, bro, so much stuff like made like in China, like so much stuff. And I'm actually kind of curious, like, will the tariffs actually? I get sand in my hair. Will the tariffs actually like will they actually stay around long? Okay, or will it be met? Because the thing is, we haven't even felt them yet because of the boats and all the shipping. Because when they ship stuff from China, it take like almost with like 30 days to get here or something like that. So you give it a couple more weeks, it's gonna be less ships rolling in. Ooh, things might get crazy, yo. That was a good one. You know, the Amazon tariffs. Who knows? We'll have to see. But companies like Amazon, and also not just Amazon, I'm pretty sure Shein probably did this too. I'm pretty sure AliExpress did this too. Their local warehouses here in the U.S. right before the tariffs kicked in, I'm pretty sure they filled those local warehouses. right? Filled it full of stock, okay? Because they knew the tariffs were gonna come. So they know, okay, yeah, we got some products, we can sell here. Already here in the US, we can still make money on this without the tariff. And I don't know if they were smart, they would actually go up on the price of those items that they imported here. Like, for example, let's just say they imported a whole bunch of water bottles, right? Okay. So you got a warehouse full of water bottles, right? Now, let's say before, when they were coming from China, water bottles were $10, right? But now with the tariffs, the water bottle is going to be $25, okay? Well, if they actually imported some and they were already in the warehouse in the US, they should sell them just for $25 too, right? That should just be lost because eventually those warehouses are gonna run out of stock, and when those warehouses run out of stock, guess what? For them to get more stock, they gotta pay the tariffs. So they should probably, squeeze what little money they can while they can. But who knows? Maybe they'll come up with a deal very soon. Yeah, maybe a deal will come up. Like, I really hope a deal will come up because a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs on both sides, right? Like, a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs on both sides if it keeps dragging out. Like, I'm telling you, like, if it keeps dragging out, like it. Okay, do y'all understand what it means when they say when they use the word war? War means we are fighting. Okay, so by this being a trade war, like, no, it's really a war, and the thing is, it just started. Okay, like it just started. It could end soon. What if it goes 6 months? I mean, Christmas would look very different if it goes 6 months, y'all. Christmas in the U.S. will look very different because where do we get majority of our stuff from? Made in China. I mean, what if it lasts that long? I'm thinking, what if it lasts that long? What if the tariffs actually last 6 months? You know how many people in the U.S. would lose their jobs if they last 6 months, bro? It would actually be staggering. I don't even think it would I think it would go 6 months. Unless it's a for real decoupling, you know. But just imagine, let's just use the crazy ballpark idea of it lasted 6 months. It just lasted 6 months, bro. Walmart and Target, you they would have items, but they would have a lot of empty store shelves. Mm. Amazon, like I say, they would have items for sale, but a lot of items would be temporarily out of stock. Okay, or if they're not temporary out of stock, they're just you know double the cost, or you know I don't know, maybe 50% the cost, 100% the cost. It really just depends on the price. The item, the amount of people that would lose their jobs would be staggering because it's the port workers that are gonna feel it the first. Okay, so let's just start at the whole import export phase, right? Okay, so the boats get here from China, right? So you got these boats, and they got what, 15,000 containers on them. Okay, they stacked up, right? I don't know if it's 1,500, not 15,000, 1,500, right? These bad boys are stacked up, right? Well, they have to be moved. Okay, and then once they're moved, they're put on trucks. Okay, like 18 wheelers, and then they're driven, you know, usually up and down the West Coast, or maybe to the Midwest. You know, so less goods coming. That's gonna be what less jobs for truckers, right? So if it's less jobs for truckers, I mean, come on, let's just go down the whole thing, right? If truckers are not moving, these huge containers, okay, that means that the warehouses are not receiving these shipments, okay? And if the warehouses are not receiving these shipments like they normally would receive shipments, now you're going to have to lay off people in the warehouses, right? And since you lay off the warehouses, where do the items go? Maybe they ship them out to stores, right? Maybe they ship them out to different shops, different stores. Well, you know, once you stop the flow of water, there's no water at the end of the river to drink. So now everyone's thirsty all along the way. So basically, that's really what's going down. And it's kind of wild to see because small businesses are probably going to suffer quite a bit too. hmm Home Depot, Lowe's. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of Home Depot stuff, not a lot, but they do have stuff in Home Depot that's made in America. It's not as bad as like Walmart, okay, or Target. But a lot of stuff, a large chunk of the items still are made in, China. So it'd be bad, yo. It'd be bad. But hopefully it doesn't last that long. Hopefully someone makes a deal. Mm-mm. Y'all doing tonight? Is anyone buying the Tesla Cybertruck? The Cybertruck? I'm definitely not buying a truck. Like, I'll keep it real. I don't. I think I would have I think I would like a Cybertruck, but like not enough. If I had like a farm or something, like a place to park a big truck, definitely wouldn't want a Cybertruck in the city. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad truck. Like I think it's alright. It's really low. Like I don't really like vehicles that large. But once again, like if I had land, a place to park a car, tourism is down. Canadians and Euros canceling their holidays. hmm That's definitely happening too. That's definitely happening too, yo. I don't see as many tourists as I used to. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still people coming to the city, but like it has definitely slowed down. That makes a lot of sense, yo. That makes a lot of sense. Now, what else is Trump trying to accomplish, right? Well, I don't know if this is gonna work, but basically what he's trying to do is he's trying to make the economy suffer, get Jay Powell to lower the interest rates, right? And if you get the economy to suffer, Jay Powell lower the interest rates, and then all these folks can go refinance at cheats. All these governments that got to refinance debt and all that. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring them rates down. Say Trump wants to end up. No, Master More. No, Master More, you funny. Your boy is dreaming about meetings that ain't happening. Oh, you mean like China's not gonna have a meeting with the U.S.? Really might not, bro. They really might not, dude. Just think if they don't, bro. Because with them, basically, it's a face thing. Like they don't want to, if they don't want to make a deal, because if they make a deal, it's gonna look like they're the one. So it doesn't matter how hard it hurts. They don't want to make a deal because it's gonna look like they're weak up against America. And America, if we make a deal with them, that's gonna make us look weak. Like once again, it's a war. It's a freaking war, dude. It's crazy. They don't need to make a deal. Trump wants a larger America, Greenland, and 51st state Canada. So yeah, he does, which I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of people say that. I've been hearing a lot of like people on the Democrat side say that the only reason Trump wants to include Canada in the U.S. is because the white race, it'll bring up the numbers, because now like all those white people in Canada would be included in the U.S. and it bring the numbers back up. But once again, like I that from some Democrat, like some people, but I'm like, that makes sense. Canada votes liberal though. That's very true. That's very true. That's totally true. I didn't even think about that. Well, honestly, people were saying this like there's a couple months ago, and then they just elected that liberal president just out the blue. You know why? They got afraid. They said, "Whoa, Trump is gonna take our country." Yeah, yeah, they came together, yo. They said we're gonna stop this from happening. I mean, you wouldn't want your country to be annexed, but also like for Canada to join the U.S., like actually not the that's not the worst thing in the world for Canada, because have y'all seen like the housing market in Canada? If you think it's expensive to live in California, if you think it's expensive to buy a house in California, oh my gosh, you should look at this as in Canada. Okay. Now another crazy thing about Canada is their housing market is insane, right? But their jobs, they don't make as much as people down in the US. They don't make as much. The Canadian dollar is, I think, than the US dollar, slightly weaker. So if Canada and the US actually, you know, join, and if it was one country, a lot of Canadians would move straight out of Canada, because you go to Texas and get a house for like $400,000, and it's not snowing like half of the year, you know. So I think the Canadians should greatly benefit, and then also the job market. Oh yeah, they would love the job market, because jobs in the U.S. pay a lot higher jobs in Canada. Now I'm not trying to say that like Canada is a third world country. No, 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 no. No, Canada is a good country, but maybe the jobs pay like, I don't know, 15 to 30% less, than a job here in the U.S. But then also, when I say a job here in the U.S., like it depends on where you go in the U.S., because you can go to Florida, and you can go to different parts of Florida, and it's vastly different versus if you go to like Mississippi, or if you go to like California. So like different country is gonna be just different. Canadian taxes are higher. Yeah, the taxes are higher too. Canadian dollar is a lot weaker. 70 cents. Yeah, 70 cents. Yeah, I thought it was. Thought it was definitely weaker than the dollar. I heard that they have um, universal healthcare. It takes months to see a doctor. Yes, so that's another thing too. Is if they joined, I don't know. Maybe they would lose their health system, because each state in the U.S. has a different, healthcare system, and I don't know how the healthcare system is like in I don't know how it's like in Canada. I don't know if it's by each province is different, or it's just the whole country is like the same. But yeah, if it's in the U.S., like each state, like they just do everything very differently. So yeah, Canadians would probably benefit from that too. Um, but also, not all Canadians would like that, because you have a lot of Canadians that they're Canadian and they're not American. Even though the two countries have so much in common, you know. But some people like their independence and like, no, Canadian, you know, I'm not American. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I guess Canada hasn't, Canada doesn't have the world history like the U.S. does, you know. For all our wars around the world and, you know, our crazy president and all that. Well, our crazy president, our insane president. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for hanging out tonight, y'all. And it's fun to sit back and chill with y'all, talk. There are like 4 to 5 major metropolitan areas in Canada. hmm Yeah, it's definitely smaller. Definitely smaller. I've actually never been to Canada, believe it or not. Like I've never been to Canada. Was gonna wait till I hit like 100 countries and then go to Canada, you know. But I kept traveling. But yeah, Canada. Really want to go to Vancouver if I go to Canada. You know, rainy place. You know, it's kind of like the San Francisco on the West Coast up there. You know, for Canada. So I hear it's pretty cool. Canada. I had a friend that lived in Montreal. He tried to get me to visit. I should have went to visit because once again, like I kind of want to go to Canada, but you know, I would have went and visit homie in Canada, but like I think he like out of town or something. Mm-mm. What else is good in the world? I need to get my hair done, yo. I'm looking at myself in the on camera. I'm looking fuzzy. I'm looking mad fuzzy over here. Dang. Mm-mm. Okay, so y'all, let's talk about Waymo for a second. Um, let's talk about Waymo because I think that there's a lot to be said about. I think there's a lot to be said about, you know, Waymo because it has a long way. And so I noticed something that happened like a couple days ago, and I just would love to share this with y'all. Okay. Now, years ago in San Francisco, down in front of the hotels, okay, you would walk by in front of hotels and you would see taxis lined up, like yellow taxis lined up, or just different color taxis just lined up, okay? There are certain times of the day when you would go to the intersection and it was based all taxis waiting at the light. It's a one-way street. There's, you know, 3 cars in front, there's 3 cars in the second row. On the third row there's 2 cars, right? But they're all taxis. All right. And then Uber came around. Okay. So Uber came around. Uber was back and forth with the taxis, all right? And I remember it was at a point where you would go to an intersection and once again, one way street, 3 car lanes, first row of cars, all rideshare, Uber, Lyft, second row, all rideshare, third, you know, basically like that, right? Now, Waymo. Let's get back to Waymo here. Hmm. I remember first started seeing Waymo rolling around. Okay, Waymo was self-driving autonomously at night by itself. Okay, okay, cool, great. And then I started to see 2 Waymos at an intersection. You go to an intersection, you see 2 Waymos. The last year, you would just see two. I can't remember if it was like it was probably like about a week ago. I saw it was like 5 Waymos in a row, and it was like 1 car, and there was another Waymo, and I was thinking, oh boy, oh boy. they out here like that. And then I remember like this on the same day, I pulled up to an intersection, yo. It was three Waymos in the front. It was two in the second row, and it was like two in the back row. And I was thinking, oh boy, they almost got the whole intersection. Crazy, man. Like it's just beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see this technology come around. It's pretty cool to see it. Watch it happen. Are you going to add color extensions to your hair? There's some no. I might. I'm not gonna add any color extensions. I might bleach a couple, but no, I'm not gonna add any color extensions. But yeah, back to Waymo. So it's been a lot of talk about Waymo and allowing Waymo to drive on Market Street, right? It's been a lot of chatter about that. Some more and more Waymos in Sunset District. I'm telling y'all, they have unleashed it now. Like Waymo is driving better and better. They have unleashed it. Like it's the rabbit is out of the bag. Once you once you once you squeeze the toothpaste out the tube, you can't put it back in the container, you know? And it's really cool to see. Now, on the flip side, we got Tesla in the play. Now, what is Tesla gonna do? Is Tesla really gonna drop out with a robot taxi? Like, are they really gonna shock the world with a robot taxi? Are they really gonna have self-driving cars in Austin in 2 months? In 2 months, are they gonna robot taxis? Because you know what? If they do, it's gonna be wild. Because there's way more Teslas on the road than freaking Waymos. But I'm trying to figure out, how is Tesla gonna make these cars drive? Like, are they just gonna use cameras? Like, that's crazy to think. Have you seen the Zoox vehicle driving around the city? So honestly, the Zoox vehicle is hands down my favorite, like, robotaxi. Like the way it looks. Um, I'm talking about the Zoox, the test car. I'm talking about the actual Zoox, the robotaxi, the one with no steering wheel and no pedal. Yeah, that one. Basically, if you've never seen it kind of looks like a toaster a little bit, right? But they can, not you, but the car can drive forward and reverse, and it has like all wheel steering, and it's quite sophisticated. You can sit both directions. It holds four people. It's definitely my favorite robotaxi. But something else to think about in the whole world of robotaxi is this right here. I don't know if this is probably something a lot of y'all haven't considered. So in the future, self-driving cars, you know, some people would think that a robotaxi would come to my house and pick me up, and it might go down the street and pick someone else up, and then go down the street and pick someone else up, and then go down the street. So it might like fill up itself and then just be efficient like that, right? But actually, it don't actually work that way. And a four-person robotaxi might be somewhat overkill, right? Like, so many rides are just gonna be one person. So many rides are gonna be two people, right? And if I'm in a car by myself, am I gonna that car to stop in that car to pick up someone else? And I don't know who that person is. And there's no driver in this robotaxi. See, the thing about Uber Pool, if you're in Uber Pool and you're a girl, a woman, and you get into a car and the driver's a guy and you guys are driving and you have to pick up another passenger, and let's say that other passenger is a guy. Well, if the guy starts to bother the woman well, at least the driver is there to intervene. But if a robo taxi is picking up like a woman, and then a robo taxi is picking up and the guy wants to be aggressive to, I mean, you see how this could like, this could go like could go the way that we wouldn't want it to go. You know what I mean? So I would think that, yeah, 3 people, yeah, you get a bigger robo taxi. If you got 4 people, you get a 4-person robo taxi. But also a 2-person robo taxi. Like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Am I making any sense? Y'all hear me? Y'all with me on this? You still living in San Francisco? Yes, I'm still living in San Francisco. I'm having a protein shake. Like, I'm having it super late. I usually have these like in the daytime. But like, I just came home not too long ago, and I was hungry, right? And so I was hungry. I was gonna make some pasta. I saw this in the fridge, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna drink a little bit of this right now. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. 20 grams of protein. Why have you stopped freaking updates? Um, I still post more reels than anything. I don't really make like long videos as much. Yeah, definitely post more reels. And then posting them reels. Oh yeah, Tony, the streets have been crazy this week with the security conference in town. So yeah, so city's packed, right? It's really nice to see. It's great to see. It's great to go by the restaurants and they're just busy and people going in and out. Traffic everywhere, like forever to go around the block. Only 2 cars can go right because there's so many pedestrians walking. Like, I don't know. I like it. Like, I like it. I like these weeks where a week like this kind of reminds me of what the city used to be like every day. What the city used to be like every freaking day. And now we have busy days and we have days that ain't that popping. Mm. Hey, so y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all some videos I've been watching a lot on YouTube lately. Like, hear me out. Okay, there's all these videos coming out of like people. They basically make it's like a compilation, but they have these machines you can buy in China that you can make products in the U.S. with the machine that you can buy from China. Okay, so I give you an example of like some of the things on there. So they basically had this straw machine, right? Where you make paper and you put the paper in the machine. It'll make you straws, right? And they also had this machine where you can make like plastic bottles, right? Um, like just all sort of like really interesting things. And I was just looking through and I'm like, man, I need to get I need to get some sort of idea, like come up with something. They had like a nail maker. They had like a mulch maker, popsicle maker, like all sorts of things like that you could start a side business with. And I'm like, man, this is really creative. They had an embroidery machine on there, which I was like, yeah, that's probably the thing I wouldn't want to use this embroidery machine because I can like make hats or something. But I don't know. I guess I can't really hats because I don't wear hats. Like, oh, man, I got too much hair. I mean, you still gonna do travel vlogs? Well, if I could went back to traveling, I'll do travel vlogs, but not now. I'm not gonna do travel vlogs now. Mm-mm. I'm not doing any travel blogs. I'm not doing any travel blogs. I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't want to. That I just get. I don't know. I just got too many. I just got too much going on right now to be traveling. And I don't know. Let the stock market peak again. Then I'll be thinking about traveling. You mean 3D printing? So 3D printing was on that list too. They had a lot of interesting thing on there. The thing they had on there, they said that you could make like a banner business, right? Like you could get like this machine that you could make like that like vinyl like signs for buildings. They had a machine on there that you can make paper plates with, and they said that you could basically go around to different businesses and you could create paper plates and like sell them the paper plates. And then you can also buy the straw machine too and make straws and paper plates. And then it could be environmental paper straws, and you can sell them. But I guess you don't need paper straw because Trump got rid of the straw ban, which I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually for banning plastic straws. Like I actually don't like paper straws. I think they get real soft too fast. They don't stay hard long enough. Especially when you like you've been sucking on it for a minute, and especially it's been sitting in there and it's getting all wet and moist and soggy and stuff. But I get the whole idea behind them. Yeah, they're a waste. I mean, they're. I mean, basically every. I mean, plastic straws take so long to biodegrade. Like I get it. Like they end up in water and stuff. They end up in like fish and stuff like that. I mean, I totally get it. I'm totally for banning plastic straws. Like there are paper straws that are a lot better than others. Like let's just keep it 100. Also, it doesn't necessarily have to be a paper straw. I think it has to be a biodegradable straw. And a biodegradable straw, obviously, would be easier if it's made out of paper because paper is biodegradable. But on the flip side, I think there's other companies out there that have made straws from biodegradable, like fruit products or vegetable products, right? So basically, you make it out of some sort of vegetable, right? Or some sort of fruit, and then it just biodegrades, like after, 6 months or whatever. Like that's kind of the way to go with it. That it just biodegrade. Yeah. A business. I'm thinking of business. Like I'm trying to figure out like what type of business I want to start a business. Like for real. Um, I'm trying to figure out something. I'd love for it to be a home based business. You know, that way I wouldn't have to leave the house. But you don't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can try sometimes. Yes, yes, yes. What do y'all think of the Ray-Ban Meta glasses? I've been looking at them like a lot online, and I'm like, dude, I'm probably just gonna buy them. I remember making small 3D objects that were 3D printed in 2019. It's dope. 3D printing, yeah, it's been around for a minute, yo. I thought the technology would improve. It's kind of quiet, I would say. I think humans are like vampires. I don't know if humans are like vampires. Vampires like to suck blood. I don't think humans like to suck blood. I think most humans think that the taste of blood is like, yeah, you know. Hey, salvage science, what's good in the house? What is good, yo? Ow! Do you still deliver food? Some days. Some days. Yeah, definitely some days. Yeah, those gigs have changed quite a bit. I mean, there's yeah, it's not the like it's not the top of the market anymore. For sure. The economy's weird, dude. The tariffs got people so freaking. The tariffs have got people so on edge right now. I'm telling you. Hey, Jermaine, there's another YouTuber, and not only he repeatedly make videos about how SF saying is dead, line his ass off over and over. Do you know this guy or what he's doing? Okay, so basically he's basically just, I mean, this is just what I think just by looking at his videos, because I definitely seen his videos. He he's just basically capitalizing off of the fact that a lot of things are dead. I mean, that's just what I think. Um, he could be conservative, right? And he could be like he could have a large conservative audience, because conservative audiences they don't necessarily like to see stuff like that. I think things like that are shown to them, um, because I don't think that your average conservative person is just looking at videos of San Francisco. Okay, like I just, but if it's shown to them, and because they hear about the city and the news and the media and stuff like that, I don't know. I think it could just be right down that alley, right? Um, but also him. I just think that he is. I don't know. I just think that for the most part, he capitalizing on talking about the city, and I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of things that he say is not necessarily. A lot of things he say is not necessarily wrong. Okay. A lot of times I watch his videos and I'm just like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That place. Yeah, yeah. That place. Yeah, that place too. Yeah, yeah. I sit back and watch his videos and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, he definitely won't get much pushback from me. Like he's spot on the money on a lot of things that he says. I mean, he has a different way of delivering it too, and he also don't really. I also notice that like he will. Sometimes he'll show businesses that are closed, and then he'll move the camera around and show you a closed business across the street, and then he'll walk down a little bit, and then he'll move the camera around and show you another closed business. So as you're the viewer, and you also maybe you've never been to San Francisco before. Sometimes watching his video, it can kind of put you in this whole mindset that, dang, for real, everything is closed down. And like I say, for the most part, there's a lot of truth that like a lot of things are closed down, but there's a lot of things that are open. Okay, like he did a video for the and he did a video for he did a video of Embarcadero Plaza, and he's just walking through Embarcadero Plaza, and if you watch his videos, you would think that basically the place is about to go out of business, right? Like that's what that was the idea he was putting out. But then I went in there and made a video like right after him, and I was showing everything that open, and I was showing like people sitting, like I was walking and I'm like, look at all these people sitting down like eating. You know what I mean? Like it's not busy like it used to be, but like it's also like not, it's not like completely dead. I don't think he went there on the weekends, because it was definitely some people in his background. If it was the weekend, it would have been no one. Like for real, it would have been no one. Yeah, so he probably also liked the AdSense. He probably like making money off of that, because videos like that do very well for like YouTube. You know? So that I'm sure that has something to do with it as well. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think he's yeah, I don't know. I think he's good. No, he definitely exaggerates stuff a lot. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and say he don't because I've noticed, like I've watched videos and I'm like, bro, like I've been on that street and I know that like I know what you did with the camera. Like you wouldn't just showed this and showed that and moved around, showed this and then flipped it back around and oh that's close to, you know. It's like no, you can't be doing that. But then also one thing that he doesn't do, he doesn't go out to the nightlife. Okay, he doesn't do that. Now, if he wanted to, he could actually show how that's not busy. But he actually don't do that, right? He don't do that. Because like I'm gonna keep it real, dude. It's been quiet at night. It has been quiet at night. Like people have not been going out like they used to. Like don't get me wrong, like they still go out, but like I want to say since the tariffs, just since Trump got in the office, like I want to say shit has been slow. It's crazy, but like it's kind of wild. You say you think his views are fake? Fake comments. You think it? I don't know. How do you tell if people have fake comments anymore? Like, is that still a thing? No, I think it's real. I don't think they're fake comments because the type he show would get a lot of people's attention. Like it would. Like it bottom line it would a lot of people's attention. So I definitely don't think he's faking it. No. So you gotta understand who would watch videos like that. Okay. Maybe people that want to come to the city for vacation, or maybe it could be people that live in other parts of the city, right? Because you got to think about this here. Pe- Not everybody goes downtown. It is one thing I never realized until like not to go, but like not everybody goes downtown. So if you make videos talking about what's going on downtown, it's folks that like live on the other side of the city, and they're like, oh really? Oh, I didn't know they're building that down there. Like I haven't been downtown in 2 years. Yeah, like that's kind of how it goes. So it could be people that live in other to the city, other parts of the bay. It could also be people that used to live in this, someone that moved away. And they're like, yo, we used to hang out right there. All that shit's closed down, you know? So I don't know. I, I don't, I totally get he exaggerates. He can be a little funny with the camera sometimes. He can be a little shaky with the camera sometimes. Like, I don't know. I think he's still chill. Yeah. I mean, I think he does a good job. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with, like I say, like all the slight misinformation. But I will say one thing that he said. He made that video at Embarcadero Plaza. It was a Mexican restaurant called, I think it was called like Don Ramon's or something like that. And it was this big sign that said coming soon. Okay. When he made the video, he made a joke about the sign saying soon. He was like, coming soon. Oh, yeah, we'll see. He had something along the lines of like, yeah, it's not going to open, right? You come to find out that that junk's still not open. Like, it's still not open, bro. Like, he was right. Like, how did he know? Just on one time. Because like for real, that joint did not open. And they really thought the restaurant was gonna open. But it didn't. It didn't. It's crazy. He knew. Mm-mm. Greetings from Bogota. Are you in Colombia? Dang. What's in your pasta, Jay? It's this is some high protein chickpea pasta with red sauce. Yeah, no nutritional yeast. I should have added nutritional yeast, but no nutritional yeast. Mm, mm. Okay, cool. It was fun streaming. I think I'm gonna get off here. Is SF safer than LA? I don't know. I don't know. I can't exactly answer that off the top of my head because I don't know. LA is just like they're different cities. Yeah, they're different. Like I don't know. Maybe someone else in the comments can answer that one. Is LA? SF is a lot smaller than LA. I would say SF is a lot smaller. LA is freaking vast, man. I mean, you can be driving in LA for like 3 hours and still be in LA. It's just a big place, especially if you were in traffic. I mean, I would think that LA would be way worse than SF. LA has to be way worse than SF because uh, SF don't even have like projects like LA do. I mean, hold on, do LA have projects? Then do they have projects in LA? I never knew. Maybe they don't. Downtown LA is a lot more dangerous than downtown SF. Okay, I totally feel you on that. Yeah, yeah, no, you can't even compare the two. Oh my gosh. Yeah, downtown. The homeless situation in Skid Row, I want to say it's worse than the TO. But I don't know. I haven't been down there in years, so it's not like I can compare the two. Skid Row is pretty bad, but like the TL is bad. Like, so what's the difference? Oh, it's only like a nickel in New Orleans. Yeah, the metropolitan area, 15 million. Well, no, I thought the metropolitan area of LA was like 20 million. Yeah, no, that might be. Yeah, I thought it was like 20 million because don't California got like what, like 40 million people, and then you got 8 million in 8 million in the Bay. You got another 20 million in LA, and then you got what, another 5 around the rest of the state. Oh, LA County has 10 people. Holy cow! Are you for real? LA County got 10 million people. How big is that joint? That's what I want to know now. This is trying to drive me to the airport. Los Angeles County. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Los Angeles County is massive, yo. Yeah, Los Angeles counties. Wow. Yeah, it's a bunch of people freaking LA, y'all. I don't know what I live. Maybe. I'm in Seattle. We pushing 5 mil. Dang, it's 5 million people in Seattle, bro. What the heck? There's 5 million people in Seattle. Dang, I need to move to Seattle, yo. Like for real, dude. I need to move to a big city. Like SF is too small. Oh, San Francisco subscriber. Any international content plan? I don't have any international trips planned soon. I'm not sure. Come to Seattle. I can show you around Seattle. That could be an easy weekend trip. I've never been to Seattle yet. Crazy. I've never been to Seattle. Oh, more people live in SF. I thought, isn't it like 5 million for Washington State? Like, I don't. It's not 5 million people in Seattle, is it? Because 5 million people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of folks. That's a big city, y'all. You sure it's 5 million? Because them a lot. I mean, how many people in New York? I know it's like 8 million or something. Oh, the state has 7 million. Wow, millions. I've been to Summer, Washington. Not even Houston have 5 million people. 5 million people is a lot of people. Yeah, that sound like a real city. Dang, that's crazy. I'm tired. I've been up since like 2:33 a.m. Like for real, and I haven't even been yawning like crazy in this stream. Like on a normal stream, I would sit back and be yawning like crazy. I'm not even doing that here right now. It's kind of gnarly. And you getting ready for Pride party? Um, no. I mean, it's not like I'm still going the same thing I was doing before. I go to the parties and go to the parades and you know, yeah. I mean, I do the Pride thing. I can't wait. It's coming. It's always a good time. How much water do you drink in a day, Jake? My water it varies throughout the day. Some days I don't drink enough, and I'm tired because I don't drink enough water. I get dehydrated. But I try to drink 2 of these a day. Now, I will be honest, I don't always drink 2 of those every day, but I try to drink those every day. Some days, I mean, I have tea in the morning. You know, like I usually have a soda in the middle of the day somewhere. People think I'm gay because I act gay sometimes. Are you act gay sometimes? But you love women too much? Oh, damn. That's funny. I was on acid when I was at the Pride Parade in Francisco. You on acid at the Pride Parade? I like eat like mad mushrooms and went to like how weird fest- festival. They go to those yawns. Oh my gosh, it was so crazy to be on mushrooms and how weird. It's crazy. How you've been dating. Should I download Tinder for the first time? I mean, you can download Tinder, but the apps are always out of work because they're always like pulling teeth. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a lot of messaging and going back and forth. And I would say probably the best way to meet people is just try to go out and meet people in real life, yo. And I'm sitting here saying that and understand that that is easier said than done. Like for real, yeah, easier said than done. But that's probably the best way to meet people is to do something like join something that you like, and then you will be around other people that are doing the same thing, and like that's for real how you meet people. Not necessarily going to bars all the time, okay, but like something where you're not intoxicated, you know, and yeah, that's how you meet people, bro. Mm. And I'll give you some example, like a running club, a cycling, join a running club, join a cycling club, join a hike club, join a club that does something, right? You know, something I saw recently. They have this thing called they have these kickball games, right? So there's I forget the name, but there's a kickball league, and they have a season, right? Where like y'all play for the season. So there might be 10 games a season. So the games are y'all just meet at this park and y'all just play kickball, and then afterwards y'all go to a bar and like have a drink, and then everybody takes off. But it's like a 2 hour thing, you know, and it's something that you have fun. You get to meet other people. You get to talk to other people, right? Like that is secret to dating and like getting laid. You know, is doing it organically and naturally, and not trying to push it, not trying to go out. Because don't get me wrong, you can definitely go out and people like at bars and stuff, but if you can do it when you're not drinking, like it's for some reason it's better. You know, that's where you meet more um, friendships that you will like keep long term. You know, or yeah, because I don't just know too many people that are just really tight. I met at bars that I can just call right now for help. You know what I mean? I just know them from the bar, but that's not like a you know what I mean? It's not like a lifelong friend. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But if you meet someone else and y'all are in a different environment, you meet on different terms. So like it'll be different because you can use the apps. Like the apps are, I think there's a time and a place for the apps. I'm not gonna just throw the apps under the bus. I really think there's a time and a place for it. And of course, during COVID was great, right? And if you are not going much, you know, or if you're traveling, you know, if you don't come to SF, you can move your Tinder app over to SF. You could be meeting people before you even arrive, you know. But yeah, you can definitely do that. Um, I don't know. You know, I'm on the apps because yeah, I'm definitely on the app, but like, dude, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of messaging. It's like, yeah, that's just how it works, you know. Meet someone in person, it's like you see them in person, you know. Y'all can have a conversation. Like it's so much better than the online crap. Yes, Tony. Yeah, the dating apps are tough, man. Is this getting its post back? You know, it's getting its post back in just in a whole nother way. Like for real. Like it's just it's getting its post in a whole nother way. Like it's not what it's what it was before the pandemic, but it is what it is today. You know, they've definitely cleaned up a lot of the tents. I still see tents, but it's rare. It's rare, right? If you go to certain parts of the TL, yeah, you'll see some tents, but for the most part, like, you don't see too many of them. You definitely see people sleeping around in random places. But I think that's probably kind of normal, you know. You see people sleeping on a bench, right? I think that's kind of normal, you know. Um, no, what I mean is normal. I think it's been like that in the city for a long time, like, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think that they have definitely cleaned up a lot. Yeah, definitely cleaned up a lot. We'll just have to see. We did get a new mayor, and a lot of people think that this new mayor is going to do a great job. And so far, like, things have been good. More homeless all over the U.S. I would imagine. I would imagine. Do you ever see yourself buying a place in SF Bay? You know, that's not really something that I exactly want to do, but I do. I could do because just easy. Just find someone. If the real estate market goes down a little bit, right? Goes down 20%. Find one person or two other people, and we go all together on a house, and then we all like work on it and help fix it up, and then now we got an asset and we got a place to stay. I would be down to do something like that. But no, just to get a place like in SF, no, I'm not that hyped into that. But once again, if it was three people putting in one time, like, that's way more affordable, right? Let's just say we found a place somewhere like outside the city, okay? And let's say we found a place and it was a fixer upper. It was a 3 bedroom. And let's just say it was, $1 million, okay? It's a fixer upper, okay? Well, that means if it's three of us, we only got to come up with 100,000, right? 100,000 down. That's 33,000 a person. $33,000. Y'all going in together? Ooh, that don't sound so bad. But if you want to do it by yourself, you gotta do 100,000. You gotta come up with 100,000. You gotta, you're gonna be working on all the work. So I can look at it like, if I do want to get something here, maybe I would like pitch in with some folks, maybe. But all the places I want to live are places that like are really expensive to buy, and they're places that you can't buy, like it's only for rent. So, but who knows if the deal came along, if the right folks came around, if the interest rates was good, if it was affordable, if I had a electric car parking spot, maybe I'd be down. But I got a feeling like the markets probably won't be going down that much. Eastern California, yeah, definitely Richmond could do one. The- oh no, the house owns you. You ain't lying about that. Mm. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go to sleep because, like I said, I was up at like 3 this morning, 2:33. I did not go back to sleep, so I'm really tired. But I love y'all. Y'all have a good one. Okay? Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Have a wonderful night for sure. Yes. Y'all have a good night. Bye bye.